Hey guys, I hope you all are doing well and being good. So today I'm back with another new video for all of you, and the topic of my today's video is that these three dangerous addictions that we are using as escape in our life. So we need to stop doing this in order to level up in your life. So before starting this video, I would request that 94% of the people watching my content haven't subscribed my channel yet. So please subscribe to my channel. I would be really grateful to all of you, and it will motivate me to make more content for all of you guys out there. So yeah, let's start this video. So the first escape that I'm going to talk about is the porn addiction. It's the most dangerous addiction, and I'm not going to talk about that how we fall into this addiction, because most of the time it's stress related to their personal lives, whether it's their love life, whether it's their financial life, or whether it's their home relation with their parents, such as abusive parents. It can be anything. It's really hard out there to judge anyone, because the person who have been through those painful times can only describe those moments. So what really happen is that young guys who don't have father figure in their life, or some motivation as a young man to follow up in their lives, they fall into the addiction of pornography. And pornography is the most dangerous addiction, which gives you instant gratification and releases your dopamine in just a second or a mini click of watching those pornographic videos. So the thing is that instead of watching or using that pornographic as your, as an escape from life, you should be allowing yourself to suffer. Now what I mean by suffer is that you should be allowing yourself to suffer, or to stay being in an uncomfortable situation in life. You need to get out of your comfort zone and experience those painful experiences of life, because the harsh reality that I'm going to tell you is that if you start using pornography as an escape in your life, what really happens is that once you're exposed to the real life circumstances or problems in your life, like in which you have to have like social experience, it can be anything in your life. So once you're exposed to the real life problems, you are going to be messed up in a certain way that you will not know that how should I behave in such situations, because pornography is depleting your mind, it's depleting your goals, it is depleting your emotions, and it is teaching you to be weak. That's what this society wants. It wants men to be really weak, so he can be controlled emotionally, financially, physically, like to stray or remain in the matrix that this social world is operating upon. So you really need to stop watching pornography, because it's causing most dangerous kind of, it's a poison, or more dangerous than cocaine, because this addiction is going to ruin up your mind. Every time when you're alone or you're suffering from some kind of pain, you start watching pornography in your mobile. You just open up, you use tab, and you just start watching it because you think that no one is watching you, and it gives you instant gratification that you don't need anyone in your life. You feel like filled by watching those mini clips or those videos, which makes you feel like you have achieved your goal. But that's the really dangerous thing, because you're not exposing yourself to the real problems of life. Instead of watching pornography, you should make yourself believe that no matter what kind of hardship or problem you're going to face up in your life, you need to remain strong. You're going to face it. You're going to be the real man. You're not going to use that fucking pornographic tool as an escape in your life, because that's what beta or loosey kind of males do. Sorry for being harsh, but yeah, that's the reality. Each of the young guy you see out there, he looks like weak, depleted, low energy, low motivation, like he don't even know that what I'm going to do in my life, because that's how much he is depleted because of this pornographic addiction. And it's the most dangerous kind of addiction that anyone can have in their lives, because your brain has been trained in such a way by watching those videos that whenever you're feeling stressed up, or whenever you're feeling those emotions, instead of fighting them up, you just like lie down in your room and start watching those videos, which is creating a habitual routine in your life, and it is setting up the repetition process. So whenever you're stressed up or whenever you're alone, you're going to start doing this routine. Like, and if you set up a robot and just manually function it, to repeat the process, that's what happening with the human minds once they are addicted to this pornographic addiction. And it's really creating mess for the young guys out there. So my suggestion to all of those young guys watching as a brother would be that stop watching pornography now, because it's going to mess your future, and it's going to mess your life. So the second addiction that I'm going to talk about is that, or we are using it as an escape in our life, is the social media addiction. Now social media addiction is kind of addiction, for most of the guys who have been, I would say that, heartbroken up in their lives by a relationship, or it can be any kind of thing. So what they really do is that they start having online connections, whether it's the Instagram app, whether it's Snapchat, TikTok, any kind of social media I'm not specifically going to talk about, but Instagram most probably is the application where you can meet different kind of people without even connecting with them on real life basis, or you wouldn't know them in real. You would just see their pictures, you're going to find them out good, that wow, how good looking that person is, and you're just going to follow them, or with the most probably chances that you're contacting them via direct message or inbox. So the thing, or the problem that we find in this escape, is the social media escape, is that what you are really doing is that you're training your mind to meet the people through social media, or you are finding the influence of those people, the happiness or the happy kind of life they are showing up in their stories or their Instagram pictures, that how satisfied or complete their life is. It's giving you pain, or it's making you feel depleted, because you're thinking like, wow, how happy that person is, but in reality that person is not really happy. He's showing up your reel or some pictures of some good moments of his life, and you start believing that, wow, how beautiful his life is. And what this thing is really doing is making you feel less worthy in life. You're going to feel incompleted, you're going to feel like depleted, in a sense that you will be feeling that, wow, that person has achieved all of the things in his life, and what I am doing with my life. Instead of forming the real connections in your life, you're forming the social media connection, which are the worst. You don't know even the person you're talking to at what point of your life he's going to block you or leave you up, and then you're going to be again falling up into the stress trap. And what you're going to do is, now you are stressed out because that person has left you, or you're not getting that instant validation that you used to get from that person before, and now you're going to be feeling more stressed, and more stress is going to cause more escape, and again you're going to switch off that pornography shit, and you're going to feel low and all of those things. So my advice for the young guys would be that stop using that social media for that instant gratification or validation. Instead of meeting people in social media, you should start going out, go for a walk, go for a run, like take yourself out, or being comfortable to talking to the people outside in your real life, because that's the real life that's going to give you experience and give you the temperament that how you're going to survive this life. Within staying with that social media instant or that circle, you're revolutionizing your mind, to stay in that circle, and all you're going to do is just sending snaps, talking to other people through social media, and you're not really getting the influence of how the real life behave, or how the people in real life behave. So it's also a kind of addiction or escape that we use, that whenever sometime it happens, you're being hurt by the person outside your life, and like you start taking it personally, and you are like that, I'm not going to meet anyone in my life again. So what you are really doing is that you start having social connection through social media apps, and talking to them, liking their pictures, and you don't even know that what's the value they are bringing to your lives. Instead you keep on watching those people, their posts, wasting your time, your hours, your energy, and what that social media is doing is depleting your mind, and it's giving you the red flag to don't have the real connections in your life. So if you want to experience the real connections in your life, the real upbringings of the life, the real adventures of your life, you need to stop using this social media. You need to go out of your comfort zone, get out of your couch and start meeting real people in your life. Then you can experience how the life behaves in your life, when there are problems, when there are happiness, or when there are sad states of life. That's how you're going to learn that how real people behave in real life. I know you would be like, other people, what if other person ignores me or doesn't talk to me? It doesn't matter, just take it as as a part of life, that person doesn't wasted your time talking to you. So just ignore it and move on in your life, instead of taking it personally. So the third and the last addiction that we are using as an escape in our life is video games. So I'm going to share my stories, because I was a big video game addict in my younger days when I was like 16 or 18. And what it happened was, after my college days, that I was like free for 2 years and I had nothing to do in my life. No one really to talk to or to spend time with. Instead of reading books, instead of watching the self-improvement videos or those things, because at that time my mind was really, not behaving in that way. It was just like you can say a young kid's mind at the age of 16. So what I really did was that I used to play video games all of the day, laying down in my couch and playing video games. And what that really does was, I used to spend or waste a lot of my hours. So luckily when I was 24, no sorry, I'm right now 24, but when I was in my 20s, early 20s, I almost stopped playing those video games. And I learned how to develop myself, because at that time I was like 85 kgs overweight kid, having loosey eyes and sleepless kind of guy, wasting his time playing video games. So I stopped that, and I realized that how mess these video games created for you. Instead, I regret at that time if I use those self-improvement videos used to exist at that time too. But the influence that these self-improvement videos are creating nowadays, it's really easy for the guys who are 16 or 18 nowadays to have a positive impact in their life by watching those videos. Whether you're watching to the Hamza, whether you're watching to Andrew Tate, or whether you're watching to the Joe Roggans or Jordan Peterson, who are the influencing young men out there to be the better versions of themselves and teaching them how to behave, to how to behave in society, how to raise their levels as a young man. So that's the privilege these young guys nowadays have. There are the YouTubers, motivators for the young men out there to watch and have some, influence in their lives. So what my point was, that video addiction is also an addiction that's wasting your time up. Instead of playing video games all of the time, what you need to really do is start having journaling in your life, start reading some books, or you can start doing some meditation, or you can go for a workout, because you need to, these temporary addictions in life, they are just a mess, and these are the escape that we used to find in our lives. And it was the worst escape ever that I have ever used in my life in my early 18 or 16. Then I regret it, because if at that time I was watching these self-improvement videos, I believe I would have been much better than I am now. Like, I'm still better, but I would be on some other level, some higher level. So yeah, the earlier you realize this thing, the more beneficial it is going to be for you. That you need to stop playing those video games, and you need to go out, you need to find some purpose in your life. You need to start reading books, you need to start journaling, you can watch these self-improvement videos, how to become better as a man, because a strong man is really beneficial for this society. What all these addictions are doing is making men weak. This is the influence that this social media or this revolution of technology has done to this man, is making him weak more and more. So the earlier you realize, the more beneficial it is going to be for you. So really, you need to find purpose in your life, find spiritual connection in your life, stay connected with God, stay hydrated, work out in your life, have healthy routines, and stop taking that instant gratification by playing video games, by watching pornography, or using that social media. These three addictions are really dangerous and are going to damage your life. So I hope you would have enjoyed my today's video, and these three addictions that as a young guy we use as an escape. Like most of the young guys in their lives, these three addictions are the most dangerous addiction that we use as an escape. And if you don't have any influence or self-improvement pill in your life, it's going to be really dangerous as you move up in your age, or you reach your 20s or 30s. The earlier you realize that this pill is really beneficial for you. I'm not going to talk about how red pill behaves, how black pill behaves, but the behavior that self-improvement pill gives you is related to the red pill. So some of the points of red pill that makes you understand the behavior of how society behaves and how you should be behaving as a young man. So this was the topic of my today's video. I hope you really enjoyed. So I will meet you in my next video. Until then, goodbye. and best of luck for your journey of your life, and stop watching these or stop doing these things right now. Goodbye.